So I have a survey here. It's Sunday night. We're on survey teardown number 21. And this is a light and fun survey. And I think it's a great example of human speak in a world where survey speak and formal survey speak is so common. So this is a survey that is been sent out to a group. So I'll click here. You can see it's a B2B marketing group, and it looks like there is a subscription. So this is a screenshot of what was sent out, but you'll see here it says like click here to take the first pulse survey. And so, and based on one of the questions you'll see too, this is a subscription. So these are customers, right? This is a community of customers. And the reason I want to look at this is because I think it's such a well done, it's so well done. And I think that when we can see a survey done in a way that's like so personable, so accessible, so clear that this is like one human to another human, it can kind of help us let go of that formal speak in surveys. We often will like throw in way too many words and like, can you please describe your top reason instead of what's your top reason? Or, what made you decide to do X? And just writing the survey like we talk. I think this is something that we minimize the impact of. Like the resistance to surveys is real, and there's so much in being able to communicate to your customers in a way that they feel like, oh, I'm just asking you some questions, and hey, I'm this human behind too, and this is actually really helpful for me. You'll see here, like, so let's give it a read. Best CMO, most overrated MarTech tool. So had 2 margaritas at dinner with the kids tonight, and I had this idea, the DGMG Pulse survey. There's 1,700 marketers in here, the in crowd. I'd be interested in what people say about some key topics, and I bet others would too. Just the way that this is written, I mean, it doesn't read difficult, right? It doesn't, I don't know that you would say that like, it doesn't read difficult to write. And what I'm trying to say is like, there's just so much humanness in this. Like it feels like, oh, this is a real thought that he had at dinner, and he's sharing it. And it's the space between the insight and the idea and communicating it are very, very short, right? Like, hey, I had this idea and now I'm doing this survey. And there's something really, that builds a strong connection, because pretty instantly we're tuned in, like, oh, cool, okay. And then, so I made a list, 9 quick, random, and fun questions. If I get over 500 responses, I'll publish all the findings, design it nice, do something fun with it. It's so personable, right? Like even here, there's no clear, like, here's necessarily like a huge incentive, or this gift card, or this is where I'll publish your findings. Like it's a curious ask, but you can feel the person behind it, and it kind of gets you like, oh yeah, cool, I'm down, I'll answer this. And then, so can you help me kick this off? Click here to take the first survey. And then you see here, like, I don't even ask for your email or anything. It's just a Google form with these questions. There's something so powerful about writing an ask that is able to sort of almost like remove the barrier of the survey. It becomes a dialogue. It's like, I'm personally asking. It's a personal request. And it is very, very powerful to feel, to be able to create that in a survey, because we just kind of like layer on a survey, right? Like we need to ask in a kind of formal way, and we'll pull questions that we've seen online and sort of step outside of this like conversation. The survey is also a conversation. And the questions that he asks here: best marketing team. Who's doing the best overall marketing in B2B right now? Who's got the best website in B2B? Which B2B company is doing the best job on social? I mean, very clear, very crisp questions. There's no ambiguity. And my favorite is at the bottom. What is the ROI on your $10 a month subscription to DGMG? Not required, LOL. I mean, LOL in a survey it's like the best. I mean, this is such a it's a person asking a person. And the power of that is unreal. I mean, when we are writing an ask for a survey, or we request, like I'll have a template for clients to use if we're inviting customers to do interviews, or even we're sending out the survey. We always want to make it, like, write it in a way that it is from a person. Like, hey, I'm the person's name and their role at the company, right? Like, there's something about relating to the person who's asking the thing. And I wanted to call attention to this because I just think it's something that we forget to do. Like, we write in a survey in such a different way than we would just talk to someone, and there's so much that people will be willing to, if it's like, I might do something cool with this if I get enough responses. Like, can you help me kick this off? I mean, it's just so human that it's very difficult to not, like, read this full thing and actually make a decision, as opposed to make a decision to, like, yeah, sure, I'll participate, or maybe you still decide not to. But often with a survey, the kind of formal speak, tight, like buttoned up survey, we will gloss over it unless there's an incentive attached. So this is just a Sunday invitation to really just be really clear and crisp with what you want to know and where you're at with it in your surveys. And, in this case, it's like, these are 9 quick, random and fun questions, right? Normally we've been talking about having like a clear goal and strategy with the survey, and that helps. And that's really important when you have a particular project like you're doing. You always want to leave with some kind of goal. But if you don't, if that goal is loose, that's okay too, right? Like, if your goal is, let's just get a pulse, which is exactly the case here, being clear on that is so important, and being able to communicate that level of, like, yeah, these are just kind of random questions. All of this to say, how you ask matters. And how you ask is not just in the wording and the exact phrasing of the question. It's in the build up to the question. It's in the framing of the survey itself. That impacts how people feel when they answer your survey, how accurate they are, how willing they are to participate, as opposed to just trying to, like, rush through the survey. So I will leave you with that. How you ask matters, and I hope you have a fabulous start to your week. And I'll see you in Teardown 22.